things like where I wish I had like thought about spending the time to go down for it, because I love going to Colorado because I lived there for like 5 years. And I know I was like looking at the tournament report, and I was like, fuck, I know exactly where this place is at. And of course, they're like, it looks like I know who Justin is. Like I'm looking at the report. Like I know like 30%, 40% of the people on the list. So I wish I had fucking made it down.
Oh,
Always
good.
next year.
Yeah.
But,
Are you
yeah.
so you're not echoing at all? Everything's good?
Yeah, I it's like we're just in the same room.
Okay.
I'm fine, yeah. Unless is it echoing on your side?
No, it's perfect. I'm just
Good.
so here's the deal: is I don't use headphones, so
You
I
don't
play
like
them
that?
out
I
of.
love headphones.
Yeah, I hate them. But I play your audio out of the speakers of the laptop, and then I have external mics. I always wonder if
You worry about it?
if the monitor picks, or if the microphone, the external microphone picks up the monitor. But I guess you would hear that on your side.
I would assume so. And I don't listen to my own podcast episodes, but I play like the first 30 seconds just to make sure like nothing's like super fucked up. So, and it sounded fine last time we recorded.
Oh, well, I'm using a completely different setup, but that's fine. I think
Yeah, it'll be fine.
we
Fuck
should
it.
be okay. Hopefully.
It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. I'll fix it in post.
Yeah,
It's
and
it's
if
the Bill
it's
O'Reilly.
echoing like
Fuck it,
crazy
just do
right
it.
now, then we
Yeah.
just re-record. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah,
I'll talk
or
about
just
magic all you want, man.
I'll just release it as is, and people can just fucking deal with it or not. Like, it's up to that. It's up to them. It's up to them. I don't care.
No, we don't. We want good shit, man. We talk about.
Yeah, I do like the I gotta buy Mark a set of headphones. Like gotta buy Mark like a fucking microphone. That's what I'm gonna get him for Christmas this year, so we can fix his audio. That's what I'm doing. He doesn't know it yet. He'll hear this episode and then he'll figure it out.
Dude, the bomb microphone right now. If you can find this thing, I'm using it right now. So this is actually the thing I'm using. Is this Shure, old school Shure microphone?
Old school Shure. Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
I'm making a
it has.
note.
See this attachment here? So you can actually. So it's the little 3-prong. I forgot the name of it, but the 3-prong. It's got.
Yeah, it converts to USB.
Yeah. So this USB goes into the. Yeah, so this is like any kind of old school studio Shure microphone.
Okay.
I think it's one of the best budget. It's probably one of the best because you can. I don't know. I think you pick up the microphone. You can find them used for like maybe like $30, $20, and then you buy the USB attachment, and then you have like a studio quality mic. But
that's what's up. Yeah, I think.
Are you moving my camera around? This is like weird.
No.
Dude, so on Teams, I don't know why it does
and then
this.
I hit record.
No, that's fine. Yeah. So again, we're using Microsoft Teams, and like, I think it's the Microsoft Teams, or if I move my head, the camera, well, not the camera, but actually Microsoft Teams moves with my face. So it's interesting, but it won't pick up on yours, I don't think.
No. I don't know. I just have like my laptop one. I don't have like a separate camera, but interesting.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's like throwing me off. Like I'm just like,
the reason I use Teams is because I somehow get it free through either school or work, but like I don't have to pay for this. Whereas like Zoom, like I know Matt Moss, they use Zoom, but they only get 45 minutes and then they got to stop and then restart everything. And I just rather not deal with it.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's the same thing on Whereby, but all right. YetiCon.
I mean, we've been recording, so
exactly. The so you went down for this. Dan Frazier was the artist present.
Yeah. Let me back up. Let me actually introduce myself. And the reason I'm doing this is actually a joke that segues in the YetiCon. But for those of you who don't know me, I'm Brian Urbano, out in Southern California, part of the SoCal Deep Spawners. Just been playing old school Magic since I don't know, 2016, 2017-ish. And met a bunch of cool people. But the reason I wanted to start that off was Jared Miller, who is the event coordinator for YetiCon. I guess somebody said, I got to pick up Urbano from the airport. And he literally, like, he put what's in Urbano, right? And so, I mean, I never met the guy, and I don't expect him to know me. It's just, it was a funny joke. It was just funny because everybody else in the Discord message and all that, and at the event was like, "What, you don't know Brian?" Like, and again, I don't expect him to know me. It's just a funny joke that, and now he named my deck. If you look at the tournament report, so check out the YetiCon tournament report. He literally called my deck "What's an Urbano?" So it's just that's how it worked out. But yeah. YetiCon nice. For me, gosh, what did we do? It was actually it was a shotgun tournament for me. So I literally flew out, jam games, slept, and then took off. Yeah. I wasn't even there for 24 hours.
I called it in and out. You're just like, show up, do your thing, and then you're like, whoop, just pop out.
Yeah, so it was we flew into Denver. So the way my day started, 3 a.m. got up, flew out of Ontario, California at about 5 a.m. Met up with the Sin City Fallen Angels. So that's James Portello, Brian Vegso out in Vegas, and they picked me up, or I waited for them at the airport, met them up. They rented a car, hooked me up with a room. Thank you for that. And from the airport, we went to go eat breakfast because we arrived right around 8 a.m., 9 a.m. I didn't have a deck built. I usually build my decks like 5 minutes before. Yeah. And I knew what I wanted to play. I was just going to rerun the same deck from Chalice that we spoke about in your previous podcast. But we had breakfast. We show up at the tournament, and actually I think we were like 30 minutes prior to start. And people were messaging other people on Discord, hey, where are these guys? There's 3 of them missing. We show up at a brewery. I'm totally drawing a blank on the name of the brewery.
It's up in Boulder. Let me grab the name of it real quick.
Is it Boulder or was it Lakewood, Colorado? I don't know, something like that.
They're the same place. Hold on.
Sure. But yes, going back to your comment, Dan Frazier was there. Apparently, it's his backyard. It's his stomping ground, and why the hell not show up to a local old school tournament where I can set up a little mini booth? And he had a little banner and a table, and he had some cool stuff, man. I'll tell you that. I wish I scooped up a bunch more of his stuff. He had a lot of custom play mats. He was doing signatures and altars and stuff like that. So it was really cool to see him. It's really cool to see the artists in general outside of conventions, and outside of their agents and outside of the business, because they're just different people. They're like you and I. He was
easier to talk to because there's not like a 1,000-yard line of people who are trying to get 600 fucking cards signed to resell on eBay later.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Who the fuck does that?
Who does that?
Crazy. Yeah.
And it was funny because I was holding one of my old Spellgrounds, and he's like, "Ooh, do I get to draw on that?" And I'm like, "No." Like, I guess if we were still, like he was all excited. He's like, "I love drawing on that material," which is the old Spellground material.
Right.
I don't know why, but I figured the pens now bleed through that. But I guess he loves it. It's nostalgia for him. But he was like, "Oh, I want to draw on it," and I was like, "No,
not this one."
Not this one. I mean, it's old, but it's a virgin. Nothing's been drawn on it, so I want to keep it that way. But overall, the event was awesome. I mean, it was essentially a local event that was open to everybody. So it was small. I think it was like
26 people. Yeah.
Was it 26? Okay.
Yeah. Which is like to me perfect sizing, right? Like
correct.
You play a couple rounds, but you really just like hang out and like fucking hang out with people, which is probably the more fun part of it anyhow.
Yeah. The location was great. I mean, there were places to eat around it. They had a food truck, nice. A lot of charity raffle stuff. It was just good meeting a new local group, I guess. I guess the Mountain Yetis formed 2019, 2020 or something like that. They had a big Reddit. I guess they all met on Reddit, which is pretty amazing. So it was nice hearing their story about how they met. But
Green Mountain Brewing, that's the name of the place. But yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you for looking it up.
It's like, look, it's Colorado. There's there's literally a fucking brewery like every 3 feet. Like you like land in Colorado, and the first thing you step off the plane, there's a brewery in between the plane and the fucking terminal. There's just so many of them, so it's okay to not remember the name of them.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I guess again we showed up just in time. I think James and Brian already had decks built. They sent their decks picks in. I didn't even send mine in until like the start of. But I literally ran back the same list. I was missing some cards, so I was a little, I brought my little box of cards, but again, it was a shotgun tournament. I just grabbed what I did, whatever fit in a pack. I took Frontier Airlines. They're a stickler for carry-on luggage and all that, so I couldn't really. I had a backpack on me that barely fit in their little jig at the airport, because they screw you if it doesn't fit in the jig. They charge you $150. Shame on your fee or something. Yeah, it was horrible. I ran into an issue with it on the way back, and there was a gate agent, a ticket agent person that was kind of flexing her muscle, and she was nailing a lot of people for the $100, $150 overage, doesn't fit in the box kind of thing. But anyway, so I built again. I built that same deck. I was missing some cards, and that's fine. I think my deck pick is online on the thing. I don't know if you have it.
Yeah. I have it up. I'll share.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah. So the two things I wanted to run that I learned at Chalice was like Hymn to Turok I wanted to run somewhere, and Psyblast I wanted to run somewhere. I needed a little more reach, and they ran this is Atlantic. So they ran Atlantic, a little bit different. So I had to cut my strip mines, obviously, which you adore.
I cannot believe that they are west of the Mississippi and they ran an Atlantic tournament. There should be like a fucking rule against that. I don't know.
You know what? I like it. I like switching it up. I don't play a lot of one strip format, so it's definitely different. The person that took it down, Justin, actually I faced in round 3. He's playing Troll Disco, and like Troll Disco becomes like a tier 1 deck in a one strip format. It's super tier 1. I think it is, because you can run the super greedy mana base and you just have everything at your disposal. You got dudes, you got dibs, you got white removal, you got everything. So you got disc. Disc absolutely wrecked me when we, I'll get to that when we go through all my rounds. But there's certain decks that you just don't see in a 4-strip format, and then when it's a 1-strip format, you see these decks. And I'd love to get more reps against Troll Disco. There's not a lot of people that play Troll Disco here in SoCal.
Here, sneak peek. Guess I'm probably going to bring something like that to Vegas, because I bought Badlands.
Vegas was 4-strip though, right?
It's going to be 4-strip. I'm just going to fucking play it. I'm just going to do it.
Sure. I played Troll Disco at the last Vegas one. So the one last year. I tried 4-color Troll Disco with 4-strip, and I'm
going to play 3-color. I'm not going to play the blue for obvious reasons.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I crash and burn with that, and just slowly realized that the 4-strip is the real deal. We were talking about that last time, right? Was it Paul Da Silva? Was it the
yes.
He got taken out by, was it Lion Strip or something? Or
Cam stripped Paul Da Silva like 3 or 4 times in a row. Yeah. Like turn 1 through 4. It's just like, what are you gonna do? Like
but anyway, yeah. So they do play Atlantic, and it's slightly different, but obviously again you see more Troll Disco decks. You see more of the greedy decks. Greedy mana base combo, stuff like that. So it was good seeing that stuff. Looking at my deck right now, I mean, the only thing I regret was I didn't have any blasts with me, and it was just super last minute. And I was like,
that would have been.
So you notice I don't even have blasts. I don't have blue blast in my sideboard. There's a lot of stuff, like I didn't have a 4th sword. I just didn't have one. And again, I could have borrowed it, but
yeah,
I'll just play what I brought. That's just kind of the spirit of the game. I don't want to borrow an entire deck, and I don't.
Still did well. Like you play 6. Like it's not like yes.
With
a 4th swords have helped absolutely, but it obviously didn't hurt that much either.
Yeah. No, I'm totally happy. The main thing for me was just meeting all the new people. I told myself I wanted to play in more of the newer, smaller group tournaments.
Yeah.
So whenever these other groups, I mean, I'll try to make it out all the time. I I have to make it out now because apparently I won the Chaos Sword flip contest.
Yes, I was gonna bring that up. Here's the picture for
but I have to now come back because I took their trophy, and I guess I hold the trophy for the year. Yeah.
What did you flip on? You flipped on your Black Lotus? Is that what you flipped on?
I flipped on my Black Lotus, yeah, with my Chaos Orb, yeah. And I had my little Spellground mat and everything. I learned a lot from Chalice. I went for my patch at Chalice and I totally uber failed. And one of the things I did was I flipped sitting down. I wasn't as tired. And mind you, I'm going on no sleep either. I'm not gonna use that as a reason. I'm not gonna use that as an excuse as to why, I didn't do as well as I could have. But but yeah, I mean, it was the real deal. I did not sleep, up at 3 a.m, and just shotgunned it there, and yeah. But yeah, if you want to, I can go through each round if that works for you.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Or if you had any other questions for me pre-start.
No, let's go through the rounds and then yeah, just like we can talk about the rest of it, the surrounding stuff.
Yeah, no problem. Round 1, I faced local Andrew Cox, I think is what it is, if you want to go to his deck photo. Dude, it's like super white weenie, and I could have easily lost. I think it went to game 3.
Okay.
I think it went to game 3. But I was battling his removal. He had a lot of it main board, and trying to hold back his army. Game 1 was crazy because I had to bring back balance. I think I brought back balance 3 times. So I initially casted it. Okay. Yeah, and then I recalled it, and then I think I recalled it again. That was game 1, and I finally was able to stabilize after the 3rd balance, and he was it was just incredible. He had me easily single digits all the games. Game 2 was a little bit about the same, but he brought in more white removal. It was crazy. But White Weenie is always a bad match for shops or the deck.
Yeah, it feels like it lines up pretty well. This guy's bold, playing 4 the White Flyers. What the fuck are those things called? Thunder Spirits.
Oh, Thunder Spirits, dude. That's a problem. Man. That's a problem.
And 4 Crusades, dude. That's a White Weenie deck.
Yeah. He Thunder Spirit eats up all my trike counters, which is a lot of people forget about that. He's the real deal. And then I think he stuck a Preacher down, and then I think I top decked something to get rid. But I mean, he was ready to Preacher my Suchis away. I lost. I've had so many bad run-ins with White Weenie, and I actually told my opponent, I said, this is probably one of the first times I've ever beat White Weenie with a shops deck.
You know what's interesting? We were talking about balance. He's not playing a balance.
I don't think you played balance with White Weenie.
You don't think you played? Okay.
No, because you're always going to have the board advantage with all the dudes.
At least I'll take your word for it. I have I've not played White Weenie, so I don't know. I would probably just throw it in because I'd be like, oh, good card, whatever. But yeah, it makes sense what you're saying, because
I think I went 2-1 on this one. I can't remember if it went to game 3, but I almost lost. I mean, seriously, and it was interesting. I grinded back. I don't know why I make it hard for myself, but I always like to. I don't know. I seem to always play the grindy decks or something like that. For me, not for the player, but or not for my opponent. But overall, good deck, good guy. Got to know him, local over there. And he was telling me that he's going to be. He hadn't played Magic, I think, since COVID, like in-person Magic. So it was good to.
Excellent.
It was good to meet up with these guys, and a lot of them are super passionate, and you can tell by their decks. I mean, even the White Weenie decks, he's got. I think he had that mock signed by Dan Frazier at the event. Maybe not, but I mean, if you got unlimited power in your deck, you're serious.
This is not somebody's like 4th edition White Weenie deck. Like, he's playing a City in a Bottle side. He's got real Legends, land tax. Like, yeah, he definitely cares about this deck.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I ended up winning that round. Again, super close games. So it was fun. Round 2, I unfortunately got paired up with Brian Vegso. He is on
Red White
Pink,
Yetis.
Yeah, Pink Dudes. And just to touch on this, Mountain Yeti was actually a Rotted. He was a 3/4,
right?
He's a 3/4 Mountain Walk, protection from white, which is a nightmare. It's a real card if you make him a 3/4. So it would be interesting to see more of these, custom erratas at these events.
I like that he just drew like "fuck you, lightning bolt" on those cards, which is pretty good. Did you guys know going into the event that it was going to be errata to 3/4?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, ahead of time, they made it very clear. We're gonna do something fun. We are the Mountain Yeti group, and we're gonna make Mountain Yeti actually. We'll try to make him playable, and making him a 3/4 is a real deal. You take him out of bolt range.
Right. That's probably the best part about it. And he's pro white, so
he's pro white and he's Mountain Walk, which is you stick him, and it's like I was glad I wasn't playing red in my. I think anybody playing red against a Mountain Yeti, that's deal with them.
Yeah, it's a bold choice. Bold choice, Cotton.
Yeah. So Vegso, he blew me out game 1. There's nothing I could do. I think he stuck 2 Mountain Yetis on the board. He burned me out.
Yeah.
Nothing I can do. Game 2, I think I blew him out game 2 and just ran him over with robots and stripped a bunch of stuff. And then game 3, I think I landed a very late game Cop Red and took over. But it was literally, I think I was in bolt range the entire time. It's probably like turn 16, 17 when I ripped a Cop Red off top of my deck, and just nothing he could have done.
Yeah, seal the deal. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he burned all his disenchants on like my dudes.
Yeah, he only has one. He didn't play. Oh, he played 3 in the main. I just missed him. Okay.
Oh, he's got 4. Yeah. And
I'm
figuring game 3, he put the entire white removal package in. I know he was divine offering a bunch of my stuff. But I was able to stick it. There was, I think, game 3 he could have had it. I think he had a turn 2 Shivan on game 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then that balance saved my life. So I ripped the balance, and I was just like, yes, I have to do it. And wish I had blasts. Again, I just didn't have them on me, so they weren't in my sideboard. But turn 2 Shivan is massive.
It's hard to deal with, yeah.
Absolutely. So I got super lucky there. Ended up taking him down. And coincidentally, I was his only loss. And if I knew that, I probably would have given him the game. But we play round 2. Nobody knows, what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you have no idea. That's way too early.
But he actually did really well. I think this deck, man.
I feel like this deck has legs.
Everybody knows Pink Weenie, but obviously this is like Pink Fatties.
Yeah.
And it's a real deck, man. But I mean, the Mountain Yeti just makes it shine.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, what do you like in a tournament where this isn't errata to be a 3/4? What do you put in for the Mountain Yetis? And I'm just like, I don't know. I have to think about it. But I feel like this deck is like, I probably just add like a 4th swords, stuff like that. Maybe some type of card draw since you're playing big, like a book or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you could do that. That sounds. You could put more burn.
Yeah. Well, he's playing 4 and 4 plus 3 fireballs.
Put more trike in it. I don't know.
Yeah, trike is probably. You're right. It's probably trike, right? Because it solves your mana problem if you get stuck. Because he's got double red, double white. It's a pretty cool deck though.
Yeah, super good deck. Like super mid rangey. Big fatties.
Yeah, I'm gonna save this one.
Yeah, I really like his deck, and he normally doesn't play these decks. So it was refreshing to see him play. Because he likes the Arabian aggro troll disco kind of thing, and I was actually putting him on troll disco, but he ended up playing this thing, and I really like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Who else did you play?
So I took down Brian. I go 2-0 going into round 3. So Justin Iskra, he is out of gosh, man,
he's out of Wyoming.
Wyoming, that's right. Yeah.
We have talked.
Yeah, so I mean I met him at Chalice.
Yeah.
So it's cool to meet up with him again, and it's great that he's traveling. I always like to see people traveling,
Yeah. So he's a baker, because we were talking about some stuff, and it's pretty interesting. We like some of the same stuff that's not Magic related, but we played each other in the last Winter Derby, which is how I met him. So then I met him in real life at Chalice. But it's good to see him out. I'm hoping he comes out for other stuff too, because he's a pretty cool dude.
He is a cool dude. He brought his, I'm gonna say your wife, maybe it's your girlfriend, but he brought
significant other with him.
Yeah, for sure.
Analogous.
And she looked like she was having a good time, and they ended up winning a raffle. They got a Legends pack. We can get into the prizes later, but it was a pretty cool Legends pack, and she was opening it. She was super excited. But yeah, so I faced Justin, probably the craziest set of games. Went to game 3. Game 1, I think he just blew me out. Got double troll on board. I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't rip an abyss. I couldn't rip any swords, nothing. Game 2 was the interesting one. So he actually got me down to 2 life. And I rip again Cop Red. I think he gets rid of one of them. I have 2 in the deck. I rip another one off the top. He couldn't deal with it. And it goes the distance. I think at one point he was at like 24 or 26 life, and I was at 2 life for the longest time. And it just went draw go. I finally was able to start beating him down with some trikes and some Suchis, but he was divine offering stuff and swordsing my dudes, and it was an uphill battle for me, but I ended up pulling out game 2 because of the Cop Red. I hid behind it, was able to deal with all of his threats. That was pretty crazy. Game 3, he just demolished me again. I had the typical explosive workshop openers with like a bunch of moxes, a workshop, a trike. And then I run into some mana issues, and then he seals the deal with a top deck Nev's Disc, blows up my board. I'm stuck with a single workshop, and he rides Troll to victory. So nice. that was almost a non-contest, but definitely probably the hardest matchup I had that day. And he ended up winning it. You can see that in the tournament report, but super solid player again, like what you said. Great guy. It's nice to see it's always nice to see when somebody comes into the event, like travels to the event and takes it down, as opposed to the local guy. Because I feel like, if you travel into the event, you always have the disadvantage because you don't know what the local meta is. You're fatigued from traveling, and whatever things you're doing. And for him to take it down was pretty good. I like his deck. I think I ran again, like last year in Vegas, I ran a similar deck, but I ran Juzam over Sengir Vampire, and it was a 4-strip format, but and I think I ran Sinkhole over Bolt. I think I ran Bolt in the sideboard.
Ooh.
I kind of like Sinkhole, but Sinkhole with 4-strip is actually really good. But
let's just talk about it now. I think that in a 4-strip environment, do you play just straight red black, or but splash, like if you have the blue, splash for blue, obviously, but do you cut the white out?
So I'll be honest with you, and maybe Justin listens to this, but I really didn't feel like blue helped him much. Like I don't think I even saw Dib. I think he took Dibs out. Does he got recall in the sideboard? Is that what's in the sideboard? Or is it flash counter? It's flash counter, right?
I think it's flash counter, top 2 cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. He didn't run blast though. I would almost just run the blast in the sideboard, like have both blue and red blast.
Yeah, I think that's the advantage of playing the blues. You get both sets for the mirror match.
But Dibs, I don't think Dibs did anything to me personally. Maybe they were showstoppers, with the other matchups that he had, because obviously he won the damn thing. So
right.
Maybe the dibs were there. But I can see your point. Maybe you do just go 2, or if you really want the blue power, just throw the Time Walk and the Ancestral. I think it's really all you need. I don't think it needs dibs.
Yeah, and he didn't play. He played a wheel in the side, and he did not play the Time Twister, which I think makes sense for his deck, right? Because he's playing the black discard package as well with 4 Hymn Turox, which makes
correct.
sense.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, no, overall solid deck. I'm starting to see a lot of the Troll Disco. They're going to like 1 to 2 disc only. Maybe disc is
okay.
Maybe disc is great, but they're putting more of the, it's like 3 disenchant, 2 disc, right? That's I think that's kind of the sweet spot. I like Divine Offering maybe as instead of the 3rd disenchant, maybe put the Divine Offering in. I just like a little more life gain, especially because you got Dibs and City of Brass and all that
He's
stuff.
playing a full 4 City of Brass too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, but overall, solid player. We caught up a bit from Urza's Chalice, and it was, I didn't expect to see him, so it was a nice surprise.
Yeah, solid dude. I'll have to message him. I'll have to have him on at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And that was round 3, right?
That was round 3. So I go 2-1 into round 4. Dan, I think it was the gentleman's name, Dan Coling, I think.
Yep.
Coling
or Cowling? Well, no. We'll fix it in post.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't know what the hell he was playing, honestly. And the funny thing was, we went to game 1. I think they recorded this match. I don't know if the recording is up.
Let me check.
I love he plays Jasmine Boreal. I gave him the big high five on Jasmine Boreal because she is actually one of my favorite ninjas. No, it would be.
It's not. He didn't post.
They're still uploading
yet. Yeah.
Yeah. No worries. So it ended up being a Titania Song deck. I didn't know this until maybe game 3 when I was kind of just picking his brain, but I saw a lot of part face stuff. I was like, okay, it's got Howling Mine, it's got it's got Icy, it's got Relic Bearer and stuff. I was like, okay, maybe he's on Parfait, kind of, I don't know. And then I saw Savannah Lions and I was like, okay, and I don't really see black. So he's not on a Dead Guy Ale, any kind of splash thing. Then I saw Copy Artifact. I was like, okay,
what the
you're running more
doing?
Copy Artifacts than I am, because I don't play. I started cutting Copy Artifact out of my Shops deck, but game 1, I think it goes. I think he drops like Maze on me, so he's got everything to stop my threats.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a long game because I feel like, I have stuff to remove his threats. I drop the Abyss on him and, pretty much shuts everything off. But he does run Titania Song, but I don't know if he was hesitant to play it because I have my own artifacts, right? So my ICs, I really only have, ICs and books, right, is what I got. So I think at one time I had all my ICs and all my books on the table, and maybe playing Titania Song wasn't the best decision per se. So, but I ended up taking this. I think I just won 2-0. I don't think it went 3 games, but I'm kind of trying to think if it did or not. But then it ends up being, I end up finding out it was a Titania Song deck. I was like, oh, okay. But I was complimenting him because I was like, it looks like a deck that I would play, like, because I saw Felwar Stone, I saw Copy Artifact, I saw Sarah Angel, and I was like, okay, are you on a version of the deck or something? But there's no counter magic really, just a lot of white removal, and then there's like Winter Orb and stuff like that. So I feel like it was going in a bunch of directions, and he couldn't get his combo down on me to really run me over. So, but we had a lot of good plays, a lot of good high fiving and stuff like that. So it was it's a cool deck. It's not a Bower Sox deck, which, if you ask me what a Titania Song deck, it's the old Brandon Bower Sox Nashville special, that really punishes you and then runs you over with a bunch of artifacts. So I don't know. We were talking about it earlier, and maybe cuts the lions or the Sarahs out or something, puts more artifacts in there. But
the lions got to go. That's like the rest of this deck is fine, right? Those lions make no sense. As somebody who plays bad decks, but like everything else in this deck is cool shit.
I mean, no, I mean, so I like Jade Statue, especially because you can convert him with Titania Song, and then he's just a 3/6. He blocks everything.
Exactly.
I like Jade Statue Balance. I thought that was cool. Maybe he just needs more mass removal, like Geddins or Wrath of God's always really good with Jade Statue.
Yeah, I think Wrath would be pretty cool in here.
Yeah.
What I honestly would probably play like one book, but maybe like he's pretty heavy whites, like maybe like a Dust to Dust, just to like, because like you got to think if you're gonna play somebody on shops, you got to make the Titania Song like worth it. So like 2 for 1ing them before you drop it might make sense. I don't know. I've never played a Titania Song deck, so I'm just talking out my ass about it. It's not I can never do it. I can never do it. I'd be like, I don't fucking know.
I love Jasmine because she's my favorite ninja. I have a stack of Jasmine.
One of the better artworks ever. Yeah, right.
I love that artwork. I think she's hot, and I have a stack of her from back in the day when I was a kid and I was collecting her. So, again, it looks like 2 to 3 decks kind of rolled into one, which I can respect that because I've been trying to do the same thing, is combine a bunch of decks. But I feel like I agree with you. I think maybe the Lions got to go because he has Abyss in the sideboard, so it's kind of like
the Abyss feels like it synergizes well with Titania's Song.
Absolutely, yeah, because it's almost like a shops deck, but there's no workshop and there's no trike. But trike is one of the best creatures in old school, so I feel like trike could slide in here really well. But overall, great guy though. Again, another local. Got to meet him and kind of pick his brain on where the old school scene is in Colorado. So it was really cool to meet him.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool deck. The Jade statues are definitely sick in this one. Yeah. All right, hold on, let me zoom out. Let me zoom to normal.
No worries. Then going into round 5, I face Pete Simpson. Probably one of the most enthusiastic players at the event. Really cool dude. We end up going again to round 3. And yeah, he ran me over game 1 with just dib pixie, and I was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't do that. Yeah,
can do that. So then game 2, I get the artifacts on board. I get book on board. I have counter spells. I answer everything. I think he gets mana screwed in game 2. So game 1, I think I got mana screwed too. So it kind of flipped. So I was able to win game 2. At that point, I'm super tired. Especially against this deck. I totally foobar, and I don't even sideboard my Cop Red. I just totally forgot about it. Like I was already tired. It's super long day. But again, not an excuse. But game 3, I ended up losing to I think he wheeled me, and I think I lose the bolt. But he wheeled me, and it was like he was literally, I think, at 4 life or something. We were both at single digits. I was in bolt range. In game 3, I realized I didn't put my Cop Red in, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna just die.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, and game 2, I was already thinking about it. Oh, I forgot to put Cop Red in for game 2, and then I totally forget to do it. But nonetheless, he sticks. Gosh, how did it go? But he had me up against the ropes, and I think it was like chain lightning, wheel, and then bolt. And I was just like, sure, you got it. Nothing I could have done. And really cool dude. He ended up giving me, they printed out some proxy Psionic Blasts with it was like a South Park Psionic Blast.
Yeah, there's a picture of him in here somewhere.
Yeah, I love that thing. He ended up giving me a play set of that. We shared a few beers with each other and had a great time. So they made their own little
That thing?
I love that thing. I think it was somebody's wife or something drew that, and then they proxied it up. But it was
nice.
Awesome gift. Great opponent. We had a lot of laughs during that game. It got a little grindy, and I think he and I were just, we were both tired, I think, but because it was the last round and we were kind of just deflated. But I ended up losing game 3 to Bolt, and it is what it is. So ended up finishing it 3-2. We can talk about awards real quick, but the SoCal Deep Spawner. So we have our Risk. So there's the SoCal Deep Spawners Risk happening April 1st, and I thought it would have been cool to one of the prizes I donated was a golden ticket. So I altered a Deep Spawn, wrote on there a golden ticket, and essentially that's a free entry with the free food at our event April 1st. So that ended up going to the first place winner, who was Justin, which again, going back to what you said about him earlier, he likes to travel.
Yeah, and that should be an easy flight for him too.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect person to give the golden ticket to, and then he can have fun with his sig other at Palm Springs
this year. Palm Springs.
Yeah,
April 1st. Nice. Not an April Fool's joke.
Not an April Fool's joke. No. So yeah, I ended up finishing 3-2. Justin ended up taking it down. Vexo did pretty well. I think he finished 4th. Yeah. So definitely it was fun. So they handed out the awards. We did the raffles. I think they ended up, what was the final amount on there in the report? There was like $1,500 or something to their local charity, which is really nice. Dan Frazier, I think the hot prize was everybody went for the,
yeah, 15 for charity. Let's take a look at this prize one.
Great job. Great prizes, man. I mean, just cool stuff. But I think I ended up winning one of the prints. It was the Melissa Benson print, the
nice
Fire Elemental, which is
okay. Oh yeah, it's like right off screen. It's that right there.
Yeah, it's that one. Yeah. So big ups to the Mountain Yetis, Jared Miller, those guys, because they donated a bunch of this stuff, or they made this stuff. And I mentioned earlier in the podcast there was that Legends pack. It was actually Jared actually made a repack of that. So it was a repack. I forgot what the rares were, but there was like 2 or 3 rares in that thing. He made it really nice. And you can see how many tickets are in that thing.
That was a big hit. More than the graded Mountain Yeti to the right of it. A 9 grade nonetheless. Like not
more than Desert Storm, right? Doesn't that break your heart? Desert Storm doesn't have any tickets in there.
There's 2 tickets. I can see them at the bottom.
Okay.
Like here's the problem with Desert Storm is that it's been done for so many years now. Everybody knows. Everybody has Desert Storm. I feel like I think Mark probably has like a storage unit just full of it that he just like pulls a box out of every now and then. We got to get the other set of Desert Storm.
I think to be fair, this photo was probably taken early in the day too. So
right.
Those I mean, even the Desert Storm Cup was overflowing with tickets, which is a good thing. Yeah, so we did the raffle. They raffled off so that Rocky Mountain Yetis playmat was actually one of the first. I think that's prototype 1. So coincidentally, Jared Miller actually won that. So he won that. They call it the Alpha playmat, but it's really cool that he ended up winning that. So and then I mentioned, so Justin won that Legends pack. Everybody was happy with the raffle prizes, and the main thing, they got the $1,500 for their local charity.
Yeah, let me just make sure I know what charity it was. It was blah blah blah. The Action Center, which I believe is, I think it's for people who were homeless, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's to help people be self-sufficient again.
Yeah.
Get them back on their feet if they're a little, they're a little down and out, or they just need help for a short amount of time. Helps them out. So, and that's always a good thing.
Oh man, I just clicked on that link. Hopefully, okay, good. It works well. Nice. Yeah. This is a good one.
It doesn't go to NASA.com.
I was like, don't send me somewhere weird, boys. This is being recorded. Yeah, cool, dude. The And then Dan Frazier was there signing stuff. Did he bring anything cool? Like, did he break anything out of, like, I'll call it like the bank? Did he bring anything cool?
Yeah, he brought a bunch of his custom doodled playmats. I mean, he had a couple playmats with like a set of Moxes on them. Nice. And you know, he had gosh, what else? Some of his newer stuff, altars, yeah. You know. Yeah,
oh, okay.
The dragons, like yeah, okay. He loves the dragons, the proxy Moxes. Just great dude. Yeah, he's just funny to joke around, man, but he is getting older, man. It's kind of cool to see him, but then you kind of just take a step back and you're like, wow, he's getting old. And you know,
it's something
I think
to think about.
halfway through the event, he was just like, I just want to go home and hang out with my wife. And I go, oh, that's cool. You know?
Yeah, I'd be like, just go, dude. Just leave. Like, nobody's gonna be upset.
I think those Moxes are, I think those are Brian Vexo's Moxes that he had done.
Did he get them done?
Nice. He got them done, yeah, which is absurd. Those came out great. A lot of other people. I liked that Disrupting Scepter with the 2 hot dogs on it. That was my favorite. I think Pete got that done.
On internet.
Forgot who got that done officially, but what he do is like disrupting hot dogs or something like that. That's like the funniest thing. And then something about the pizza, right? The Mahamodi.
Oh yeah, these ones showed up. That's good.
For the pizzas. That's so good, man. But yeah, Dan Frazier doing those on the spot. He took some cards home to get them done. And dude, his turnaround time was crazy. I think he took Vexo's Moxes home. Took him like a week. He just did them and then mailed them back. No problem, no hitch.
Nice.
Really cool. So yeah, the venue was great. I mean, you can see the pictures of the venue, but yeah, there's me. So I had a yeah, and that's the way Dan was. Just he's like, hey,
like, oh, I'm so tired of this.
He just, you know, the dude's he's super playful and he likes to joke around, but the picture says it all, right? He's just like
he's like, I'm never doing one of these ever again. He's like, this is fucking
yeah. I mean, I hope he comes again next, because apparently it's his backyard, so he doesn't live that far, but again, it's cool to see him there without the crowd, without the convention crowd, without his agents, without the. I feel like, you know, without the money thing involved, and you know, it's cool to deal with him directly.
Up too, right? Like, because how many people show up to get a set of Moxes? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he probably did decent for it. I'd suppose.
I think he did decent, especially he just had to show up. He didn't have to pay for booth space. He didn't have to deal with insurance or anything like that. So, yeah, it was awesome. I got to give a thank you. Shoot, and I feel so bad, but Jared Miller's wife was actually the one who kind of ran.
Yes. He mentions it at the beginning of this. I was reading this post. I think I got
to give her mad props because
he sat her down and like showed her how to use Teleria like right before the event started or something like that. Well, it's fucking awesome. There's a picture of her somewhere.
That's cool. Yeah.
There it is. Oh, I can't. Okay, I gotta zoom in. But yes, there she is trying to figure that shit out. And he wrote a little poem for her. So.
It's hard to run tournaments, man. I mean, you know, you guys, you know, you know, I know you guys did a little bit of the Alamo and all that stuff, and it's hard to run a tournament, and she did a great job. So, you know, thank you to her. I apologize, I forgot your name, but
well, I'll edit it. I'll send him a message. We'll edit
I gave her. Yeah, I ended up giving her some mock stickers and stuff like that, but nice. She is super down. You know, I noticed with a lot of these groups, you know, like there's always the one gal that holds it down, right, for the group. So she definitely held it down, and she had they had that thing up on a projector screen, and everybody could see everything, and you know, 2-minute warnings, whatever, telling everybody it's lunchtime, just little things like that, right? Like, because a lot of us are just tired and we don't know what's going on. I mean, I was drinking and I was running on half tank, and everybody was just telling me, hey, it's time to eat. Oh, okay, cool. Like, I just don't know, you know.
You're like, good. Yeah.
But we need that sort of thing, you know.
Yeah, it's like you just need somebody to be like, yo, so like this is now what we're gonna, and like everybody's like, oh, okay, I guess it's what we're doing now. Like, it makes sense. You need somebody to drive the trains.
Yeah. So after the raffle, then we go to the Chaos Orb flipping contest. Like I mentioned in the beginning, so I ended up taking it down. They threw a picture of me up there. I have a oversized Chaos Orb that I signed, and that's their trophy. So now I'm obligated to go back next year because I have to defend the title, but more importantly, bring the trophy back just in case I lose it. So I give it to the next winner. But after my fail at Chalice for my orb patch, I kind of went back. I asked myself, I said, so where am I failing? And it's just, after you get a couple drinks in you, you're just tired standing up. So I said, you know what? I'm going to sit down and I'm going to flip my orbs. And I felt like I redeemed myself a little bit.
I'm going to give it a shot. Dude, I'm a stander. Like, I will stand up because I want to line up. You know what I mean? Like, I want to line my shot.
Sure.
But I'm gonna have to try it from the sit position.
You know what, man? But you're in shape though. You got big, nice legs.
I don't drink. Like, my problem is I don't drink, so I'm gonna have to bet. I'm gonna like bet 0 for the next time I do this instead of taking two fucking shots at the end that like hurt.
Well, how many dudes at Chalice this year did their orb patch and they didn't even drink? Right? There were, I think there were like 2 or 3 maybe.
2 or 3 guys, but they all took
Charlie
shots at the
Peterson
end.
did it. He did it. He bet, I think, 3 shots and he didn't even take one. He just did it standing up.
Did he really? I must have missed that. Okay.
Yeah, he did it downstairs. I caught the whole thing and it was impressive. Then he ended up taking all the shots at the end anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, everybody was participating. I know Vegso's good. Vegso won the orb flip contest in Arizona, I think, right?
On the train, yeah.
On the train while
he did like 30 or 40 flips.
So, I'm facing up against him. James Portello came off of his orb patch. So that dude probably has the most interesting flip, but he hit his 50. So I can't.
It works. Yeah.
I can't talk shit about him, but yeah, I ended up outbeating them, and the local guys were there. It was down to me and I forgot the local guy, but we were going at it, and I just didn't miss. I don't know how many flips I did, but I don't know if anybody filmed it. But I sat there and everybody said, "Dude, you were just like cool and doing it," and I was just like,
Did you guys just go in turns? Like, did you was it like, fuck, how did I explain this? Did you flip and then somebody else, like, was it playing horse where you guys had to like flip
so
and then the other dude would flip and you just keep going?
Everybody flipped at once in the beginning. Okay. And then as we got down to like, there's only 4 left, 3 left, 2 left. It was kind of like one after another, I guess. So I think there's more pressure if you go one after another, obviously.
Yes, I like that format.
But doing it all at once, I think the way you speed it up a little bit is you have everybody flip at once at the beginning, because there's like, 15, 20 people doing it, right? You can't go one by one by one by one, but nonetheless, everybody said, dude, like you're flipping like a madman. And I said, yeah, that's, just the longer you hold it, I think the more you shake and you think about it. So you just gotta let it go. And if you miss, you miss, but you kind of just don't want to think about it. And sitting down for me was the best, because now I isolated my body more and I'm super out of shape, and I was shaken and tired and drunk and whatever. But I ended up pulling it out. So it was
nice, dude.
It was one win for me, At least I won something.
I guess I got to come to YetiCon 2023 and just make a run at it. We'll see.
I mean, anybody listening to this, it's go support the new and local crews. They're putting on these amazing events. And the icing on the top was actually just Dan Frazier going. I didn't even know about it until Brian and James actually got me to go to it, but I didn't know Dan Frazier was going to be there until after I signed up, and I was like, cool.
You're like, oh. You're like, yeah, I guess I'll bring cards for that. Like, you're like, oh.
Yeah, I got my, what did I get? Oh, the artist proof Earthquake I have. So I got that one done. I put a Mountain Yeti on the back of it, so it's pretty cool. Yeah.
All right, dude. My wife is staring at me in the corner of the screen. You can't see her. And she's like, what the fuck?
Wrap it up.
We have a Christmas. We have her there's probably a Christmas party where I work, but I'm never going to go to that. But we have her Christmas party, and obviously works on a smaller team than I do. So she's like, I need you to do shit. Like, all right. It sucks. Like, yeah, I know. It's the worst. Like, I only work 3 days a week, so I don't have to work a lot, but I have to work at home. I'm like a semi I'm a part-time stay-at-home dad without children. I still gotta do work in the house, so it's kind of the worst.
No worries. Yeah, I mean, after the orb flipping contest, we just had dinner after that. It was about 11
Where'd you guys go eat for
maybe.
dinner?
There was a barbecue place that was across the way.
Nice. Okay.
It was really good. They had a really good food truck earlier. I didn't eat because I had a big breakfast. The big breakfast where we eat Good Guy Cafe or something like that. I bought a shirt. That place was so. I mean, Colorado, like New Mexico, you always get their chilies. I think that's the big deal. So the green chilies, obviously were the bomb. It lived up to the hype. The barbecue, I think the brisket was a home run. The pork was terrible. But it was like toward the end, right? So I feel like the barbecue place was closing down and they just kind of gave us extra meat and
yeah, it was like whatever's left. It's like, all right.
Yeah. Then we went back and then again flew out early 8 a.m. Got back here to LA. I think I had a delay somewhere, and then I had that run in with the Frontier baggage crap, the carry-on thing. But long story short, I got back here I think at noon, and then I think I knocked out for like a day and a half. So,
hell yeah,
that was my trip.
Nice.
And then now we're getting ready for Vegas again, right? That's the next event. So it's gonna
Vegas is the next event. So Simon did us a huge favor in the Texas Discord and just like listed all the events basically through the next year.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's really cool.
Yeah. It was. I'm so glad he did that. So there was Bootleggers Ball happened December 3rd. Couldn't make it out to that. There's a couple things happening in Europe that nobody's that listen to this is probably going to go to. So yeah, January 13, 14, Sin City Open. I talked to Brian this morning when I signed up, and so he said there's still spots left if somebody's trying to go. I think he said he's going to close it out January 1st. It's December 9th right now, so plenty of time to sign up. And like honestly, flights into Vegas are super fucking cheap, so like there's really no reason not to go. Like my flight was cheaper than like the hotel I still need to book, but like it's honestly probably one of the best places to meet up, especially if you live like Texas or West, because his flight is A, probably direct, and B, it's probably under like $200 to fly in.
Yeah, Vegas is. I mean, if you just don't like Vegas, then I get it. But
yeah. Well, but this
Vegas
like you can just avoid Vegas. Like you know what I mean? Like I like going to Vegas for all the reasons Vegas exists, but like the like you don't have to you can avoid Vegas if you really want to. You know what I mean? You don't actually you can fly into Vegas and just avoid Vegas completely.
So his event is actually in Henderson. So
yeah,
I mean,
it's like southeast.
Yeah, so for for people listening to this, and I know you're gonna have more than 2 people listening to this, but it is off strip. So I mean, if you're not into the gambling and all that stuff, you literally fly into the airport and then you drive to Henderson. You can Uber to Henderson. Like it's not.
I'm going to like it's 18 minutes, right? I just checked it this morning to make sure I could still do it, right? Like I thought about renting a fucking bike to like bike over there, but I don't want to get hit by a car.
Can't you Turo a motorcycle or something? I don't know.
Dude, we can talk motorcycles off of this, but like my wife would fucking probably divorce me if I got on a motorcycle in the States.
Dude, also, I mean, I'm driving there. I'll pick you up or something, man. Just let me know. Whatever.
I'll message you. I figure like who else is going to be there? David Craig from New Mexico is coming in too.
Yeah.
I know, dude. I'm excited for this one. He told me he was going. I was like, fuck, I guess I'll sign up.
Is the other dude going too from New Mexico? Is it Luis, the guy that
Luis? I'll ask him. Him. I don't know how busy he is with the shop or not, but
I miss those guys.
Yeah, it should be a pretty cool meetup because the Vegas dudes are cool as well. So, and I think he said he was like the cap I think is 64, and I think he said he was in like the high 40s, low 50s. So there's like a few slots left, but it's not like it'll probably. I'm sure people are like doing what I did and just being like, oh yeah, I guess I can go, and then just signing up. So pretty exciting stuff. And then there's scrying. If you're on the East Coast, there's scrying to Scry Harder, which is by the Sisters of the Flame. I know that Andy has been working on lists for that. Apparently, he said he broke scryings on Twitter, so it's probably true.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, I believe him. I don't know. We're doing a scryings event out here, like in February, like just a local thing. I just haven't even looked at the fucking list yet. I should probably look and see what these cards are. No, wait, scryings is they're doing a scrying event this weekend, the 10th. I'll be at work or whatever, but I think scryings would be a good format for a tournament just because people haven't played it a lot, so it'd be like kind of wide open as far as what people will show up with.
Yeah.
Until after the scryings too, whenever Andy Becerra shows up with like some broke ass list and everybody's like, oh, I'll just play that. So we'll see.
Yep. But right, yeah, I mean, looking forward to 2023.
A lot of events.
For me, the YetiCon was a good closing out. I was supposed to go to Bootleggers, but I got busy. So I kind of missed that. But
it looked like a good event. I was like, I'm still like secretly in their event Discord, so I was like keeping tabs on it while I was at work. It looked like it was a fun time. It's like secretly just like scrolling it. Yeah. They don't know that now. They do. I'll probably get kicked out after this, but it's fine. Are you last question? Then I really do got to go. But are you going to go in February to Europe? Did you guys figure it out?
Don't know yet.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can make it, but I'm just curious to see who's going to go. I saw a list of Americans who will be showing up, so it should be a pretty good event.
Yeah, I'd love to. I don't know.
I'm counting 7 hours of PTO.
I was talking to Dudes of Paradise too. So they hopefully they put their event up, but I hear now it was supposed to be February, and then they're tentatively it's in May now. So May in Hawaii is going to be. If that happens, I mean, I'm definitely going there too. But
okay, yeah, I guess to see what flights are in May. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Eli and Ken to finalize it up. So
sounds good, dude. All right, enjoy your casino. I wish I was there. I'd probably be playing blackjack. We could have just done this at the blackjack table.
I mean, we can always do it later. We'll do it in Vegas, man. If you want to do that.
You want to play some blackjack in Vegas? Okay, we'll talk about this offline. Yeah. I think I could definitely just not get a hotel room, and then we could just play blackjack. Do they still do 24 tables, like all night tables?
Yeah, of course.
Good. Okay. Good. I don't know. I don't know what COVID messed stuff up or not. Like, I could definitely be a degenerate sitting in the corner, definitely not smoking Marlboro Reds, playing blackjack until my flight. I'm not saying that's a possibility, but
we'll see. Yep. Yeah, we'll see you in Vegas then.
All right, dude.
All right, brother.
I'm gonna just stop hitting record. Man. Yeah. Hold on.